The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors. Warning: the following live broadcast may contain loud, obnoxious, shrill, and alarming noises that might be considered disturbing, if not outright uncomfortable to listen to, especially if you are wearing headphones. I share my office space with an African gray parrot and two parakeets, and I have no control, absolutely none whatsoever, over their behavior while I am live streaming, unlike my regular videos where I have the opportunity to edit them out as best as I can. And even then, I fail a lot of the times. If you are sensitive to loud, surprising background noises, I recommend either not turning your volume up too loud or watching my edited, pre recorded videos instead. And remember, if you hear something that sounds like a smoke detector that needs batteries, it's not my smoke detector that needs batteries. All my smoke detectors have batteries in them. It's the parrot who enjoys that sound immensely. So just so you know. Viewer discretion is advised. There we are. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to another episode of my live draw stream for this Wednesday, May 31st already, 2023. I can't believe that we're already on the cusp of halfway through the year, and I'm not feeling it. I'm not liking it at all. But hey, it's what we have to deal with. So thank you so much for everybody that's joining me today. So let me see who's joining me in the chat today. Hello, Afraid. Hello, Afraid. And yes, hello, Stormwolf. Hello, Michael. Yes, the early burb catches the live stream. Yes. Thank you so much for showing up. And yes, I see you, the 8 people next to the giant eyeball on my screen watching from regions beyond. Thank you so much for joining. If you're joining me from Facebook and if you're joining me from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join my sexy people in the chat. Keep Afrain and Michael company right now. Usually it's a slow, it's a slow crowd, coming in. But it's like, look, Facebook doesn't. Sometimes Facebook acts up, and Twitter doesn't even allow me to see your comments. So if you want to join whatever conversation I'm having at the moment, come on over to YouTube. It's a lot easier that way to converse on YouTube. And if you're joining me from Twitch, continue interacting on Twitch. I mean, at least I can see your comments from there. Thank you so much. Yes, and you know what? And thank you everybody for joining me on Twitch. I've been looking at my analytics over there, and I already have 12 subscribers on Twitch. So thank you so much. And one constant viewer. So thank you so much for joining me on Twitch during for my live stream. So also speaking of subscribers, I would like to thank everybody. I would love to thank everybody for finally getting me to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Yes, 1,000 subscribers. Finally. It's only been, like 5-6 years that I have been trying to get to this milestone. Thank you so much for everybody for subscribing to my channel. I'm really glad that you're enjoying the videos that I've been putting out. I gotta fix my lighting. It's like, I think it's the camera app that's messing with my lighting. But we'll worry about that later. But yes, we finally hit 1,000 subscribers on my vlog, on my channel, Daphne Lage, Lage Art. And thank you so much for that. Now it's just to see it stays there. Now it's to see whether it stays at 1,000 long enough for YouTube to say, yes, this is official. You have 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. And yes, thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you, and Joseph. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure House of Bob has something to do with that. Yes, no, I'm sure. But thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Yes, he is a T-Rex. He's related to. Yes, he's very much related. Yes, he is. So yes, so before Efrain rings the bell, reminding me to get to introductions, let me get to introductions. So hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
With a few exceptions, the characters on this program are weird and peculiar and not to be trusted.
And I am known for the Furry Fantasy Adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter in 2 days. This Friday, we will be launching Tall Tales, or so I thought, the very first full color Tall Tales one shot on Kickstarter. We will be launching the campaign on the vlogs show on Friday. So make sure you join us, and I'll give you more detail in a couple of minutes. So yes, Tall Tales, or so I thought, first full color book. Link is in the show notes for you to sign up. Hit the notify me button on Kickstarter so you will get notified the second this campaign goes live. And thank you so much to the almost 70 people who have signed up to get notified about this campaign. Thank you so much for signing up. I hope most of you, if not all of you, can join us on that first day and make those pledges. But thank you so much for at least wanting to be notified. Thank you again. And I am also known for my mature audiences, slice of life medieval fantasy, Eagle Raven, Air the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter later on this summer with issue 7 already, which I am still trying to finish. Oh my goodness. Yes, I am currently working on finishing Eagle Raven issue 7 right now as we speak, but the campaign itself will launch summer 2023 on Kickstarter. So sign up on my website and keep an eye out for that to get notified when that campaign goes live. And I am also co-host with Nita Landing on the Rage Into the Vlogs show every Monday and Friday on the Indie Comics Network at 11 a.m. Eastern. And like I said, join us this Friday when we will be launching the Tall Tales, or so I thought, full color one shot campaign on Kickstarter. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great campaign. Not only is this comic perfect for everybody who's never heard of the campaign to jump on, because it is a one shot, but if you missed any of my previous campaigns, you can pick up everything that you missed, every trade paperback, Tall Tales and Eagle Raven on this campaign as well. So join us on Friday for the launch of that campaign. And speaking of Kickstarters, remember that you can save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order with our coupon code RAGIN10. Send out your campaign rewards in style, nice and protected in a Gemini mailer. But what if you don't have a campaign? What if you're not a creator? What if you don't do Kickstarters? Well, you could also use that coupon code to buy all sorts of comic book supplies, such as bags and boards and even comic book boxes. Get your collection. I know your collection is a mess. I know it for a fact, because mine is too. And you need those bags and those boards and those comic book boxes, which you can use our coupon code RAGIN10 to get them organized. Also, in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And remember, you can also check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel with now with 1,000 subscribers at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network as well. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever any of my shows, any of our shows go live as well. So yeah, I know. Very exciting. End of the month, a lot going on. There's always been a lot going on. Take a shot every time I say there's a lot going on. But the one thing today that has happened that I'm actually pretty happy with is I got a new chair. Unfortunately, I had to retire the Space Cadet racer chair over there. Unfortunately, it not only wasn't it as comfortable as I thought it would be, but it actually ended up exacerbating my back problems that I was having before I got the chair. It got worse with that chair, and because of that, I had to buy a brand new chair, which seems to be a much better choice than something unfortunately fancy like that. But I am feeling a lot better so far. What happened is it's just like with the amount of work that I've been doing on just lately on my books. I mean, I know that I've mentioned it from the very beginning since I got this chair, that the thing that I really didn't like about it was that it's very low and I couldn't get it. Like, it was perfect for the computer desk, but not for the drawing desk. And I couldn't really get it to work. Even with a booster seat, I really couldn't get it to work with how I work here. And especially lately, my back has been absolutely killing me. Even with me using, like trying to angle my Cintiq in a certain way, it just was not happening. I would have to switch between the racer chair and a saddle chair, and I couldn't get relief from either. Like I could only get relief for a little bit until it didn't work. So I just finally got fed up with it. And I know for a fact it's the chairs, because when I got out of the chairs, I would feel better. Like, I would go to the sofa and I would feel better. It's like just not being in the chairs was an issue. So I knew it was the chairs. Oh, the leg is a completely different thing. Does it help with legs? You know what? I found the chair, unfortunately, so uncomfortable. It didn't matter. I still have that leg pain. Well, it's not a pain; it's more like an ache now. It's just like it's still very tight, even though it's like I'm working out, because I hurt my leg back in December, and now it's like I could barely feel it, but when I do, it's just annoying. And the chairs were not helping. Especially the racer chair, because I was getting pressure points on like really odd places on my leg, and it was just aggravating it. So it just goes to show you that just because you spend a lot of money on a chair doesn't mean it's any good. Now, it's a chair. It's good if it, for a chair, but for like for the long term sitting that I do, I really needed to go back to an office chair. And yeah, so like the racer chair cost me $400. Now, the thing is, though, I didn't pay for that chair. Technically, it was a very generous patron who bought the chair for me. But unfortunately, it just didn't. It's just not working for what I needed. So I ended up having to buy just a regular, like, Amazon Basics office chair, and so far it's completely doing the trick. It's giving me the back support that I actually need. I could be working on my Cintiq and I can actually lean back. I don't know, with this chair, it's like really, really deep. So I would have to lean back a lot, and it would just like completely put me out of position. So So yeah, so take everybody take care of yourselves. Make sure that you get the right chair for the right job. And yes, and just because a chair is expensive doesn't mean that it's the right one for you. So yeah, so I just got the chair today. I've been working in it. Now because it's putting me in I guess a more proper position. Now my body has to get used to being in that proper position again. So I'm getting aches just because, oh, this is different now. So hopefully, once I get used to it, but so far it's really doing the trick. I really like the fact that I can just barely lean back and I have support. So I mean, yeah, so any little bit helps. So where is Samira? Well, there's no Samira yet. If everybody joined us, if you missed, don't know what Efrain is talking about, on Saturday on House of Bob, if you missed it, make sure you check out the replay. I really enjoyed this episode that we did. I was talking about the program, the animation program that I'm using called Honk. I have a clip of that for everyone to see because House of Bob is an adults only live stream. So if you just want to learn about the animation program that I'm using, I have a separate video that's open audiences, so anybody can watch it on my playlist. So on Saturday, we designed a PNG tuber. And I'm sure I've spoken about this enough already. I'll try not to get too deep into it again. I created a PNG tuber, which is a 2D version of a VTuber, and it uses a program called Honk, which uses audio to sync up movement and lip movement and voices, as opposed to using a camera to move the puppet for live streaming. So we actually designed a character on House of Bob. It was really fun. Efrain actually helped a lot with the character. So now I just have to find the time to actually put the character together and get that PNG puppet working. But right now, no, I haven't worked on it since Saturday. I'm I'm trying to get the stuff that I do need to finish first, which is Ego Raven issue 7, which, like I said, I'm still currently working on it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages left to go on issue 7, and then I'm immediately moving on to finishing the Unicorn King's Daughter, which is another Ego Raven one shot that's going to come out later this year as well. So yeah, so I just have my schedule really full. It's just like full steam ahead. And yeah, and then it's like I have to start on Eagle Raven issue 8. I have until the end of August to finish everything. I want to finish Eagle Raven issue 8, and then I also want to finish the first House of Bob sketchbook that I'm currently putting together. So I want to finish all of these books that I'm working on right now. August 31st. Does August have 30 or 31 days? Whatever the last day of August is, I have to have these books 99% completed so that by the time September rolls around, I can start working on the next trade paperback, on volume 3 of Ego Raven, which means I'm going to be working on issue 9, 10, 11, and 12 before the end of the year. So yeah, my schedule is a bit full. That's why I was determined to just finally get a chair that worked for me, because it's just a lot of work that I have to get done. So yes, and in between all this, I have to fit in, like the PNG tuber. I have to fit in some other commissions that I'm working on. There's a commission that I've been sitting on for a bit that I promised it for May. Not quite happening. But I have to make a point to finish it in June. It's, so at least I can get that client, done and on his way. It's like, it's a really fun commission. I'm really looking forward to working on it. But, it's like, I just have to, set the time aside to do that in between all these books that I have to finish. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much what's been going on with me. Like I said, with the chair, I'm also like I said, I'm trying to figure out now. It's like I'm trying to figure out what the optimum how to optimize working on my Cintiq is. What's really what was really funny was that I was thinking that I might have had to invest in a larger Cintiq, um, but because it's like when I bought this, I have a Cintiq 16 Pro that I work on, and I kind of regretted being cheap when I bought it because for like $400 more, I could have gotten like the 24-inch. It was either a 21 or a 24-inch Cintiq, the larger, the next larger size. And like I said, I was being cheap that day. Um, so and just to show you, like this is what I'm working. Oh, look at that Inception right there. So this is what I work on. You all see my OBS screen there. So and it's like, and it's good because it's like it fits my desk and whatnot. But I think like I said, I still kind of, if I had to do it again, I would have spent the money to get the larger Cintiq. But the thing is, though, I'm not sure if maybe that's a real issue or not because I've been watching some videos lately from a lot of professionals using Cintiqs, and they're all using this. It's like I was watching White Manga the other day. He was using a 16-inch Pro, although he was using a mobile studio, a 16-inch mobile studio. I was watching another woman. She does manga in Japan, and she's also using a 16-inch. So it's like, okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being fussy, or something. Maybe I don't really need the larger screen. But what was my point? Oh, it's like I was just trying to, yeah. It's like, so I was just thinking about like what was okay. So it's like instead of getting a larger screen, maybe I should just try to optimize as well how I utilize the 16 Pro. I was thinking of getting one of those monitor arms, and getting like kind of like a laptop adapter so I can put the Cintiq on it and kind of get it off the table so I can adjust it, how I need it. Like if I needed it much higher or lower or something, or at a weird angle, I can kind of like do that. I just haven't decided. I just haven't decided if just what I needed first was just a proper chair. Maybe this has always been fine, to work on. It's just that I was so uncomfortable in the chair that it just made I thought the problem was the Cintiq and not the chair. So I'm hoping it's just the chair because I really don't want to speak because yeah, it's like I don't want to spend another. What would a new Cintiq? A new Cintiq is going to cost me like $2,500 or something, and it's like I really don't want to do that. I think and what's funny is that I think that for that type of money right now, I think that I would rather get a mobile studio because then it's like what I could do is when I can't get kind of tired of my environment, I could just take the mobile studio and go to like the living room or something and work there. Or if I'm really feeling, like I could just take it to bed, and just work in bed. I'm not sure yet, but it's not something that I can do right now anyway. So I had to kind of like it was an idea that was percolating that I just had to postpone. It might be for the best because I might be overthinking this. So probably if anything, if any idea seems like the best idea for me right now is probably getting the monitor arm that either attaches to my desk or like you have to drill a hole in the desk. I haven't decided yet, and then put the Cintiq on that and then work from there. So I don't know. we'll see how it goes. Also another thing that I just got. It's not a book. The other day it's not a book this time, but I was just very happy to finally get this. So I finally got in the mail Violet Evergarden, the movie. So I'm very happy to get this. Ever since Netflix started acting up, I was really, as a company, I was really thinking about, okay, you know what, if we were going to cancel Netflix tomorrow, what would I miss? And I would miss Violet Evergarden. So I have been making a point to get all the DVDs, um just so that I have hard copies of everything. So if Jose decided that he didn't want Netflix anymore, um, then I wouldn't be missing anything, because like, oh, I have Violet Evergarden on Blu-ray. I even bought a new Blu-ray player for my computer so I could actually play this. Problem is, I didn't realize they don't come with programs anymore, so I have to buy a separate program so that I could watch Blu-rays. Oh, it's such a mess. But I'm very happy that I have Violet Evergarden at least. I so far I think this is everything. I have there's three DVD sets right now, and I think I got this is the last, or at least this is the current one. I think there might be one more. I'm not sure. I would have to double check. So I'm looking forward to always. You want an ugly cry? When you're just in that mood for a really good ugly cry, yeah, Violet Evergarden. That's the anime you go to. And that is like the only thing though that Netflix, that if Netflix put out on DVD, I would buy in a heartbeat. I but I know why they're probably never going to do this, is The Witcher. The Witcher ends after season 4, or at least to me it does. And so it's like it's like, well, that's the one thing that I don't have, like I would miss. Well, once I watch season 4, I'm not going to miss it, because that's it. um but it's but they're not putting that out on Blu-ray. Netflix doesn't put anything in any of their media on Blu-ray. I think the only reason I was able to get Violet Evergarden on Blu-ray is because it's Japanese first. I think it was released in Japan first, and then Netflix brought it. So yeah, so it's a completely separate animal from Netflix. But The Witcher, the only thing DVDs that I could find for The Witcher is like bootleg, like people, like I guess it, like they bootleg The Witcher, and then they design the DVD sets. Those are the only things that I haven't that I've found. I'd rather just get something legitimate. But I mean, right now, either way, right now, honestly, I think between the two of them, I'm happier that I have Violet Evergarden on Blu-ray than The Witcher. So, I'm not that concerned about that. But yeah, Netflix sucks, right? Oh, hey Joe, hey Joe. No, I think just Jake has been busy. I mean, it's like I haven't seen him for a bit, so he's probably just busy. So what do we have on the table today? So because I have the new chair, which can adjust to the proper height that I need for both of my desks. I'm very happy about that. I swear to God, that's really been a problem for me. With the two chairs that I've had. So I'm really excited to get back to probably the original setup I really, really wanted for this office. I wanted the drawing table here, I wanted my Cintiq here, and I wanted my computer here. So thanks to this new chair, I might be able to get that setup back, because honestly, it was a lot more efficient for me. So we are back on the main drawing table. We are back here. We don't need the setup that I had to kind of like finagle here on this side. Now we're back on the proper. Bootlegs? Well, back in the day we had plenty. Back in the day, but now it's like, yeah, it's like I don't think we have that many. Jose used to buy a lot of bootleg, like Asian films and whatnot, but all those stores closed down. So now it's like, unless it's legit, those are the those just, yeah, we just get them. He just buys them off of Amazon now. Oh, hello, yes, thank you so much. 1,000 subscribers. If you missed it, my YouTube channel finally hit 1,000 subscribers after 5 years. Ain't nobody can accuse me of buying subs, that's for sure. So like I said, we're heading back to the main desk, which I'm very happy to return to because I can adjust my chair to the correct height that I need it. So what we're going to be working on today, like I said, I have all these books that I have to finish. So what we're going to be working on today is another variant cover for the Unicorn King's Daughter. I know that you guys are probably going to be like so fed up with hearing about this book until it comes out. Yes. Milestones. We do not throw the milestones. Look, a lot of those were entertaining. Like I said, it's like, Jose collects a lot. He used to have a lot of them when we had access to those stores, those video stores downtown that would sell all those types of bootleg, Asian cinema. But now they're all closed. So, like I said, if he doesn't find them on Amazon or something, I don't know what's out there anymore. They're a lot more fun than, so I'm going to be working on another variant cover for medieval Unicorn Viking Slut for Eagle Raven, the Unicorn King's Daughter. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So at least I'll be doing a little traditional inking and, our usual, whatever usual talking we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a couple of bumps and try to move everything over to the other table, and then we can kind of get working. So so after these messages, we'll be right back.
only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your meds, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in, it's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze! Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the craze.
Okay. All right. So, unfortunately, camera's going to be at a weird angle again. I forgot to check the wires. They're all tied. They're all like wrapped up with the other wires. So I don't have the, the cord. I don't have enough slack to bring it over to this table. I mean, the one thing that I didn't think about, let's see. Yeah, it's the wires are all tangled up. So this is just my audio. This is why I have a leash this long for my audio, but for the camera, I completely forgot to check that. I forgot to untangle the wires. So actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. This might be annoying for a bit. Hold on. Let me see. Because I mean, it's like, especially now that we figured out that no, it's all like really tangled here. Yeah, it's gonna take me it's gonna take me a bit to untangle it. Hold on, let me see something. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. I ran. So what did you guys think of my new Tall Tales promo? I was really happy to finally get that done. And, because it definitely a little last minute. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I know this is going to be a little uncomfortable, everybody. Hold on. Like I said, it's really tangled, but I think, do I have it? Do I have the slack? Oh my goodness. Ugh. Look, this is why you watch live streams, right? For the real stuff, right? But I always compare it to karaoke, where nobody goes to karaoke to hear you belt out a perfect rendition of I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, right? Right? Okay, did I fix that? Okay, all right. I think I got it. Okay, hold on. All right, let's see. Do I have enough slack here? Okay. So this is probably as good as it's going to get. Oh, okay. All right, very good. Very good. Okay. Not a completely disgusting angle. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me just fix something over here. It's real life, people. Real life. Let me see. Okay, I'm just putting my wires back. I don't want to. It's like, what? It's kind of like cooking. It's like you're best cleaning as you go along, so that when you hit the end, you don't have to clean as much. So okay, so there we go. Okay, now we're looking proper, right? It wasn't that difficult. It was a little difficult. Okay, it was a little difficult. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, hello, Grant. Hello. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. Let's see. What question does Patrick have today? Oh, okay. I got a legit question. Based on your comment that JD was asked, why not use AI to do his artwork based on the work he commissioned in the past for a previous project? You know what? It's like, I think that he just likes working with actual artists. And you know what? And it's like AI right now. And I think AI right now is just a little too questionable to use right now. although according to our friend who's using a closed source AI, it's not really, but I don't know. Like I said, our friend is trying to train a closed source AI to pretty much be his assistant. Um, which it honestly, in and of itself, is not a bad thing. But now, why Jose, whether Jose would end up doing that or not, I couldn't tell you. You would have to ask him directly. Um, but yeah, I can't, like, me personally, I'm just not ready to do that. It's like, I want to see how all the lawsuits come out, how any regulations on the technology, I just want to wait and see. I say I'm not in a rush to use AI, to tell you the truth. So I can afford to wait, I, but in terms of, like Jose being able to fill in, to feed the AI all the artwork and never have to commission anybody again. I mean, I don't know. That in and of itself is kind of grimy, to tell you the truth. For me personally, I think that's kind of grimy. Leave that nonsense to the to the $1 billion corporations who are chomping at the bit to do that. So, um, because also here's the thing too. It's like, I think part of the, uh, I guess, like, part of the appeal of the process is the collaborative process. It's um, in the end, it's like, if Jose were to do that, but he had to spend the entire time prompting. It's like, would he really be saving time doing this? Would he really be saving money doing this? Um, as opposed to just hiring Jade to just do the comic exactly the way he wants. So yeah, so right now it probably it's too early for us to tell how this is going to affect our workflows. If it does, let's see. Did any point in your career have people come to you to do art commissions, but blandly ask you to do a piece in someone else's style? No, actually, no. I've personally never had that. Um, I mean, yeah, it's like, I've never had that. I've heard of it. I've heard of people doing that. It's like, like they couldn't afford, like the actual artist that they wanted, so they try to find a copycat. It's like, well, if I can't get this person, can I at least get that person? Can you draw in that style? I've known people who can do that. I mean, Jose actually follows a guy where what he does is he actually recreates comic book covers, for people who can't afford to buy the actual artwork, like the collective, like original artwork. Like if you wanted like a particular John Byrne cover, there's a guy that he follows on DeviantArt who you can commission to recreate that artwork for you in John Byrne style. Now, of course, he doesn't sign it as John Byrne. It's in the style of. But there are people who do that. I mean, in and of itself, it depends on the context. I mean, it's like, if you're just an individual person asking for something like that from another individual creator, it's like, okay, it's just a one-off. But the thing is, though, I've heard like companies, like, they didn't want to pay the rate for one particular artist, so they would try to hire somebody else to mimic it. And I don't know, that's grimy, because these are people who could absolutely pay the original artist. They just don't want to. So I think it's all context. As to it's all context. As to whether a particular request is kind of grimy or not. Yeah. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, most people commission me for my style. So at least there's that. I have that. Oh, I forgot to start playing the music. So let me start playing the background music. I found a really cool playlist on Epidemic Sound. So this person, Bonnie Grace, um, they do they do all the medieval music. Like they seem to do like the best medieval sounding music on Epidemic Sound. So I didn't, so I made a playlist just from this creator. So that's what we're playing in the background today as we work. So like I said, this is another variant cover to Eagle Raven, the Unicorn King's daughter, which comes out later this year. I have two more variant covers that I'm working on. This is one of the two. The other one I absolutely cannot work on this show. If you missed House of Bob, I showed off all of the other covers that I have for this campaign. This campaign is very variant cover heavy. So if you're into actually collecting my artwork, um, that'll be a campaign for you. So yeah. So here I am with my Rapidiagraphs again. I'm using the number 2 Rapidiagraph, inking this by hand because I'm a glutton for punishment. Because it's what I enjoy doing. I know a lot of people keep asking me. It's like, oh, why haven't you gone digital yet and whatnot? And I just haven't yet. I still have kind of like this Cintiq setup that I'm still kind of working through in terms of efficiency and whatnot. And and I just really haven't gotten the hang of inking digitally. But also, it's like the amount of time that I've been spending working digitally, um, especially lately. I mean, being able to ink by hand is actually a nice break. You know, it really is. I mean, it's just very nice and tactile, and it puts me in a different kind of like position and mindset, which is probably the reason why. Oh, hold on. What? I really should do that. There should be like some kind of like the Unicorn King Queen and a baby Eagle Raven. I really should do that. There's no reason why I shouldn't. But yeah, we'll put a pin in that, Patrick. Thank you. We'll put a pin in that. Definitely we need something, right? We need it's a little something just to show what a baby Eagle Raven looks like. But that is such a cute idea, really. So with the Cintiq, I just hadn't gotten the hang of inking digitally. Although that I'm going to actually try to change very, very soon. A couple of episodes back, I'm sure you guys remember that I was playing around trying to ink something like a test piece on Clip Studio Paint. And I spent yesterday watching a lot of videos on Clip Studio and kind of like really building up that momentum. And And I think I'm getting really close to being ready to doing something. I originally wanted to wait until after issue 8, after I finish issue 8, and then do yeah, I see that too. I see that too. Um, although what's funny though is that I don't quite imagine her being like very whiny. I kind of imagine her being more like painfully shy type of like personality wise. But yeah, we could see that. We could definitely see that. Um, so my original plan was to finish and like I said, everything that I have to finish at the end of August, right? So it's like issue 7, issue 8, House of Bob, Volume 1, and then it's like, and then the Unicorn King's Daughter, and there's an adult supplement that goes with Unicorn King's Daughter, and I thought, you know what, I have to do that story from scratch. It's an 8-page story that I'm going to do. It's 8 pages. And I figured, it's like, you know what? Maybe instead of waiting until I finish issue 8, I should do those 8 pages in Clip Studio Paint and force myself to do those 8 pages entirely digitally. To do the penciling in digitally, to do the to do it's like to do the penciling, the sketching, the inking, the whole thing, all 8 pages. I figure that it would be a small enough project that I could pretty much learn Clip Studio Paint within those 8 pages. So that's what I'm planning on doing. So I was watching a lot. Well, in terms of, is it like is she like Ariel? Well, only in terms that she doesn't have any other brothers and sisters like her. Technically, she only has one brother. She has her brother Blackavar, but Blackavar is a full unicorn. He's not. She's the only one that's like her. So so she wouldn't be like Ariel. There are no like 8 other sisters or something. It's just the one brother that she has. So I figure that 8 pages, those 8 pages will be enough for me to really get the hang of Clip Studio Paint. I was playing around with it yesterday. Because here's the thing, I really, when I was doing the experiment the other day, well, not the other day, the several weeks ago, when I was doing the Clip Studio Paint presentation on here and driving Allison to drink, I really, really, really liked the feel of the G Pen brush. I really did. I was really surprised how it was giving me the look that I really wanted, just right out the package, pretty much. And so that was a pretty good sign for me, because it's like, okay, so it's like I'm going to pretty much get what I want right out the gate when I start using it. So hello, Carlos. Hello, welcome. Yeah. So, so that's I'm probably going to, like, I noticed when I was playing around with the program the other day, just trying to, like, there's a lot of options on that thing. I mean, it's honestly, I find it a little bit more intimidating than Photoshop, to tell you the truth. And it just has a lot of options. But then again, that's why I was watching all these videos. And it's just, and I realized that it has an option to record your session on, like, whatever it is that you're doing in Clip Studio Paint. It will record it. So I have to try that. I have to try that option. Because then what I can do is that I can, like, record everything and give everybody kind of like a play-by-play as to how it's going. Although the funny thing is that the video, the 8-page project is technically not suitable. It's not suitable for. It's very not safe for work. The project that I'm going to be doing this on is not safe for work, so I couldn't really give a play-by-play. So I would have to, like, probably save that for something else. But yeah, so that's my plan. It's like, it seems like that I'm just the type of person that I have to it's like, if I really want to learn something, I just have to, like, do a crash course in it. It's like, I just have to, like, sit down and spend an entire weekend figuring something out. That's how I was able to do the PNG tuber. That's how I was able to do the Oswald puppet that we used for the launch party for the Oswald Chronicles on it was last Monday with JD Calderon. If you look in our playlist, if you look for the launch party for the Oswald, the most recent one, there's actually a little interview with Oswald, because I was testing out the puppet on the show, and it was just like, it just came out really, really good. I had spent the entire Sunday trying to figure out the program to be able to do that. So if you want to see the results of me making my first PNG tuber, it's on that show. But I decided to take the entire Sunday to do it. So I figure that what I need to do is the same thing with Clip Studio Paint. So I mean, I don't see myself completely not inking anymore by hand, even if I do learn Clip Studio Paint, because, like I said, this is just something nice and different. Although I really shouldn't say anything, because it's like, if it depends on how efficient inking digitally is for me. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to say that, I'll completely transfer everything to digital. It depends. But I mean, I don't see myself completely abandoning traditional inking. I don't. But part of the my want of wanting to finally get the hang of it, force myself to get the hang of it, is so that I could reasonably do all this work that I have to do in a more efficient timeline without losing quality. Losing quality is the thing that's always what I'm concerned about. Um, I'm not the type that I'll sacrifice. I'm not the type that it's like that. It's that important for me to be able to do an entire comic in a month. Um, not with the way I do things right now. I mean, I could probably do. I mean, I give me 3 months and I can give you a full comic, but not in a month. However, if I can get, if the digital inking looks as good as I was, I'll tell you. I mean, the coloring took me a bit. The thing that I really took the longest with right now, I mean, coloring took me a while, and I think I really didn't get the hang of it until like 2 years ago. I mean, it's just something that you have to just keep doing it. Um, there is no fast way of doing anything, of learning anything, which is kind of the shame with AI because, you know, a lot of people look at AI as like it's a shortcut to, oh, I can make beautiful paintings without having to learn how to paint. And it's like, well, no, you're not painting. They're not your paintings. Um, it's like all you're doing is the equivalent of a very glorified Google image search. You're not doing anything. The AI is literally doing the shit for you, and even then it's just based on whatever prompts you give it, and then it's just taking bits and pieces from all the artwork that was illegally put into its memory to put together a piece that you think you want. And that's not doing anything. I mean, I can use Google, for fuck's sake, you know? I mean, so, and I think that what's missing with that is that, like Jose was telling me the other day about, he was watching this video of a woman who did like some drawing or whatever. And it doesn't matter about what, it's just, And he says, it was okay. It was nothing special. It was like very average, whatever. And then what she did is that she put her drawing through an AI. And Jose goes, yeah, it's like, and the AI really, really spruced up her piece. Like, I guess, whatever, And he goes, holy shit, it's like you were like going, wow, at the end of it. And I go, yeah, but the thing is, though, is that she's not, it's like that you're wowing over what the computer did, not what she did. It's like whatever the computer did on top of her artwork, she's not the one doing that. It's just a filter. She might as well have just put her artwork through a filter in Photoshop, which we've seen people do all the time. But she didn't do that. And then on top of that, she's not going to learn how to do that. So she's never going to learn how to do that herself. She's just going to be running her shit through an AI, and that's going to be the end of her curiosity of whether she can do something. And I think that that's something that a lot of people miss as being part of the process of doing art, is you're learning to do something. You're pushing your skill. You want to see if you can get better. I mean, an AI is a shortcut, but it's a meaningless shortcut. Because in the end, it's like, okay, what are you trying to prove? That you could put prompts in a computer, it's like, yeah, could I run my pieces through a computer to make it look like I did it as an oil painting, that it was an oil painting? It's like, sure, I could do that right now in Photoshop. They have filters for that. But what's the point? There's no point of that for me because it's not an oil painting. I didn't know how to do that. So yeah, it's a meaningless gesture. So, but to answer your friend though, because that's a long walk. I'm still learning how to use digital. I mean, technically, it's like I haven't really gotten used to it. After I finished coloring the Tall Tales book, I realized that Tall Tales really does require a different type of coloring than what I taught myself to do on EGORaven. That's the funny thing about that. That it's like, I'm still happy with the way the book came out. I mean, I don't know if I showed it on here, but so here's the proof that I got from the printer just to show you guys that that the book is done. So when the campaign goes live, it's for a book that's ready to go. It's technically at the printer right now. I just have to tell them at the end of the campaign how many I need, and it's good to go. So so I'm coloring this, and I'm using the same technique that I learned on that I learned for EGORaven. And after seeing the proof, now I kind of had a sense of this while I was coloring it, but especially after seeing the proof, it's like, yeah, I decided that what this needed, it needs a different technique. That Tall Tales needs it needs something visually different in terms of digital coloring. I just don't know what it is. So until I figure out what it is that I need for this, but then again, it could also be that I'm not used to seeing interior pages for Tall Tales in color because I've never felt that way about the covers. That's the funny thing about it. I've never felt that way about the covers. So the fact that the interiors are kind of making me feel like, oh, it needs to be different. It's just a little strange. I'm just wondering if it's just because I'm not used to seeing it in color. So yeah. So because the thing is, so like I just wouldn't know like how different Tall Tales needs to be. But yeah, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, getting used to the whole digital thing. Even with the lettering that I do digitally, I'm still like I use a book, The Essential Guide to Comic Book Lettering by Nate Pecos from Blambot, and I mean I'm still going through that page by page. I don't letter exactly the way he does. I mean, he has his lettering has a little bit more flair than what I do. I mean, because for me, lettering a comic has everything to do with legibility rather than being fancy with it. I have to be able to read it, and it's like, as someone with reading glasses and whatnot, it's like, I need to be able to read it properly. So I'm not interested in all the fancy stuff and, special effects and using color for text and whatnot. It's like, no. It's like, I just want it as legible as possible. And, but I'm still going through his book anyway. So that I know what's possible, like what he does, so that when I need to use it, I can alter it to what I need it for, what I need, my lettering to look like. So yeah, so that's kind of the thing. I'm still learning to get used to digital. Now I have to admit, it's like now being at this table in this chair, I'm already feeling a difference. It's exactly the height that I need to be. I don't feel like I'm stretching, and I don't feel like like I don't feel. I feel like I'm at the right height with the right support. That's what I feel like right now, because it's like I said, for the last while, my back has been killing me. And I was sitting here kind of wondering, okay, should I get a standing desk or should I just buy another chair? Which is the part that feels like more the problem? And in the end, I opted for the chair because it was a lot less expensive than buying a standing desk. Even if I were to buy the tabletop version, the chair was less expensive. It was like half the price. So, and I'm just really happy that it's like, you know what? I thought it wasn't going to work out, but it's like, oh no. This is exactly what I needed. Because if I was in the other chair right now or in the saddle chair, my back would be hurting right now. I mean, honestly, it got so bad before that I was actually thinking about not doing the stream because my back was hurting. But but then I got the chair early enough. So, okay, we have to do the stream just to test it. And I'm very happy to say that yes, the new chair is making all the difference right now. So, very happy with that. So, and the thing is, though, there's nothing special about this chair. That's the funny thing. All it is an Amazon Basic. It's Amazon Basics office chair, like $70. That was it. Worth every penny. I mean, technically, the racer chair, as much as I appreciated getting it, it's a $400 chair. That's even more expensive because it made my back hurt even more. It exacerbated a lot of the problems that I was having. So, unfortunately, I mean, now I'm just gonna leave it there for like anybody who wants to sit with me in the office. They can sit. So at least there's a chair here that they don't have to worry about. But for me, I don't see myself using that chair anymore. But it was worth a try. At least I know for sure. No. Where's my water? So yeah, so depending, yeah, so I think, you know what? I think I'm going to skip the whole arm thing, monitor arm thing, because it's like you know what? I think it really was just the chair that was the problem. Rather than. Because like I said, I can set this monitor over there, and then when I'm streaming, I can bring it over here. So at least I can move it back and forth without having to worry about it being on an arm. And you know what? Yeah, it's just... Oh, hey, Jake! Yeah, standing or sitting while work or sedentary work position, so it's better to get out and move them discs on either. Yes, I have been training. I have been half marathon training for the past 3 weeks. I think I'm just entering. I'm in my third week right now. It just feels longer. So yeah, so it got to a point where it's like, okay, I gotta stop messing around. I have to start training because I need to exercise. My back, it was just getting ridiculous. Like I needed the break, and I needed some kind of intense break from from the sitting. Um, So yeah, it's important to do that. I mean, it's like because after like I'm finished with the stream, I have to go do my cross training. So again, it's like can't I can't sit for too long. It's not good either way. Yeah. It's like whenever I ink in faces, I hold my breath. Because one wrong line and it ruins the entire piece. I'm very happy that this creator on Epidemic Sound is very prolific because I think this might be my favorite playlist, and it's just one creator. Right? It's like I said, they do like a lot of the best medieval sounding music on Epidemic Sound, and so yeah, so this was definitely a keeper. Like I said, I have to. This is. So what paper is this? Okay, so this is 9x12 Strathmore 300 series. Smooth plate Bristol. I'm very particular about the paper that I use. And what, and then second, what I did was I have this layout. You can kind of see it. It's a comical page layout that I shrunk down to size, to the size, so that's in proportion. That I printed on this printer here. So this is a large format inkjet. And then I take those pages and then I draw on top of them. I use them mostly for covers because then it's like I have the dimensions of the cover because it has all this space here for the logo. And then I'm just able to draw and know where the artwork has to be. So the actual cover gets cropped to here. As you can see, like there's guidelines here. So the actual cover gets cropped here, but I always extend it to the edges so that, I just have the extra space to play around with. Oh, yeah. Speaking of AI, right? So the big thing that I've been seeing online is the fact that AI can now expand the border of pieces. And honestly, I think that's probably the stupidest thing that everyone's excited about right now. Right. And yeah, the vellum Strathmore. Yeah, it's a little too toothy. They're better for like if you're gonna paint on it rather than use markers. I find that the vellum is a little too it's like it requires too much ink for it to go down properly on the paper. Like it absorbs the ink more, so markers are kind of not, they don't really work well on it. I don't like it very much. I don't use it. If you were painting like watercolors or something or using gouache, then yeah, I would recommend that because of the texture. But but like for markers and for for what I'm doing here, like Pigmas and for markers and if you're using microns, fine liners or whatnot, you're better off with the smooth plate. Because also with the vellum, it screws up the nibs. It has a tendency to screw up the nibs on my pens. That's why I don't use it, because that texture gets caught in it, like it shreds paper into my nib, and then it gunks it all up. So that's why. If you're using markers, alcohol-based markers, whether it be Copics or anything like that. That's why it's not staying put. My ruler here is not. It's loose. I'm gonna have to look at it later. Okay. All right. Just needed to tighten it. Like if you wanted kind of like if you're using alcohol-based markers, another like alternative to that is hammer mill paper. Hammer mill like 80 pound, either 80 pound or 100 pound. As long as it's heavier than 80 pound. And that's kind of like a dupe for an inexpensive dupe for like Copic paper, like the Copic brand marker paper. You can use the Hammer Mill Index. So yeah, you're looking for a Hammer Mill Index 80 pound and up. And that's a good dupe for using multi-liners and alcohol markers on. Oh, the AI thing. The AI thing. Yeah, so it's the stupidest thing that I'm seeing everybody get excited over. That it takes, a piece and then extends the edges. Like honestly, the only thing that I could think of that would make that thing useful is if I did a piece that needed a bleed and I like didn't put in enough bleed and I could get the AI to extend the bleed. Like say if I drew this piece and turns out that I needed more bleed. So okay, I can like for print, right? So okay, so I would tell the AI to give me like another inch of and it's like and it would fill it in and it's like okay, that's literally the only practical application that I could see with that whole extending outside. It's like yeah, but to see people get excited over that I mean, look, it just goes to show you that not all audiences are worth catering to. Oh, there's the song that I used for the Gabby promo. I mean, because really, it's like people get excited because it's like they're seeing another 2 feet of Starry Night. It's like, okay. It's like, composition means things. You see, that's the thing. I mean, it's like, honestly, I think a lot of people are just jerking off to this AI, to everything that an AI does because they feel like they have to. They have to be excited about. Like, this is what an imagination to people with no imaginations, that's what it looks like. Oh, good night, Grant. Good night, Grant. Yeah, he has to go. So, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. So yeah, so that's kind of like the thing that it's like, I think that a lot of this AI hype, I really do think it's just people who think that they have to. Like they have no imagination whatsoever. And it's like, this is exciting for them. And it's like, holy shit, I mean, it would be laughable. It would be laughable if it wasn't so like, oh, we're destroying industries with this. So yeah, so I just thought that was, especially the ones where they're extending the background on shit that are real backgrounds that you could actually find footage for. Like a really, really stupid one was where someone had extended, they took the Beatles Abbey Road cover, and they extended it. And it's like, you stupid bitches, that's a real street. You can just look up the street on Google Maps if you had wanted to know what was in the rest of that environment. I mean, Jesus Christ. There was another one where it's like they took a still from Reservoir Dogs and they extended it so that you see the rest of the warehouse. And it's like, there's photos of this. It's a set. It's a movie set. There's nothing to extend. Just go find movie set Reservoir Dogs on Google. You didn't need an AI to fill in the rest of the warehouse for you. I mean, and people are like, oh my God, the possibilities. And I go, what possibilities? That you guys have no sense of composition or anything, or that filmmakers, that they block out scenes for a reason? That these are that do they really think that it's like that directors, that Quentin Tarantino didn't want to show for some reason the rest of the warehouse. He didn't need to. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's like, I brain worms. I really do. The AI is giving people brain worms. Because it's like the inanity, the absolute inanity that these people are getting excited over. I'm telling you, I mentioned it on the show on Monday. It's like when AI becomes ubiquitous and you have every asshole in an artist alley crowding up an artist alley at a convention with AI pieces, the one person who's going to have the crowd in front of them is the person drawing in their sketchbook. That's the future of our industry. That it's like the people making AI, it's like they're making AI not as a tool that we can all utilize, but as a replacement for what we can do. And all they're doing is, in the end, making us more valuable. Because it's like, what type of artwork are we going to get in 10 years when the market is flooded by people with no imagination whatsoever, with no creativity outside of, fairy with purple wings, and whatever the AI slops out. I mean, it's like, what is that? We're going to find out. Look, no matter what, we're going to find out what that landscape is going to look like. It's all going to be full of like dead-eye, hyper realistically painted, yet there's no detail in it type of, wet-eyed, and people are still going to have 6 fingers, because there's going to come a point where no one's going to care anymore. Are you just impressed for 30 seconds? It doesn't matter if it has 6 fingers. They're not even, I swear to God, it's like they're not even going to bother to edit that out, to fix that out. It's like this commentary that I saw where it says the biggest danger of AI is not the AI itself, it's the audience. It's the audience for AI. We're talking about AI is catering to an audience that only wants good enough, that can only recognize good enough. It's like, it's strange arms. I've seen strange thighs. I mean, it's like, it's like, it kind of like glitches. And because these people are so enamored by the realistic rendering that they don't see, like, the mistakes are glaring to me. I'm like going, what's going on here? And then, oh my God, look at how beautiful it is. It's like, you don't know what you're looking at. You don't even know what you're looking at. How can you have an opinion on it? Well, that's kind of easy nowadays, right? But yeah, but I mean, it's like, it's just like, I don't want this audience. You know what? I don't want it. I don't do my work for an audience that's easily impressed by AI. I really got to put that out there. It's like, you know what? They can do all the little AI circle jerks they want, but it's like, you know what? I don't want you guys, looking my way. It's like you wouldn't know good art from bad art from any art, whatsoever, AI was supposed to be this really cool tool that I could have used to help me with compositions, to help me with, with things, It's like, oh, I need a background, but it's like I need a scene to look a certain way, but I'm not sure how, it's like it's kind of because I remember like going through Google trying to find like really specific poses and just not finding it. And it's like, oh, AI would have been easy to use. And it's like, no. Well, it's like, what's funny is that I could have just as easily have used like Clip Studio Paint. They have like the poser thing. So like, okay, well now I can really do that. Now I could just take the 3D poser and make the scenes, and put together the scenes that I'm looking for. Yeah, but still though, it's like this was supposed to be just another tool we could have been using, but instead it's like it was created by assholes looking into, whose intention was to weaponize it against us because they don't want to pay anybody. Their wealth comes from not paying people. You don't become, there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. It's like you don't, but behind, the saying, behind every great fortune there's an even greater crime, and it's, and really, it's like, how do we remove the human element that we don't have to pay for? That's pretty much how AI, this as we are right now, that's how it came. That's how it came to be. How do we remove the human element we do not have to pay for? And suction that money up the ladder, the savings, because that savings never gets, the whole trickle down economics bullshit, right? You notice how that shit never trickles down. The only thing that trickles down is that they're pissing on you and saying that it's raining. But the actual benefit of trickle down never happens. It just ends up getting stored, ends up getting hoarded in some offshore account, somewhere. In the Caribbean, for some reason. Yeah, but whatever, right? I mean, I'm just kind of glad that I've been able to avoid the workforce for as long as since I got laid off in 2013. That I've been fortunate so far to avoid, because I don't know if I'd be able to handle this nonsense, because it's like I know that businesses, AI, Chat GDP or whatnot, or GPT, whatever the fuck it's called, like all businesses are using that now. I haven't tried that either. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like, I mean, if you're doing like marketing copy all day, yeah, I used to, yeah, I was laid off in 2013, so yeah, I was able to kind of stay out of the workforce for that long. Now, mind you, though, I had to prepare for 10 years to be able to do this. It wasn't just something that I was able to just do. Granted, I had wanted to prepare longer, but once I got laid off and realized, like, you know what, I could make this work, I made it work. It's just that I don't know how long my luck is going to last. I won't know until the end of the year. Because I was mentioning on another show that it's like, depending how things look, which is the reason why I want to get so much work. Yeah, that happened to a friend of ours too. He ended up moving to Texas. But yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not saying otherwise. Like I said, I spent the previous 10 years building a foundation that when it happened, it became, being unemployed was an inconvenience, not anything dire for me. But so the thing is, it's like, that's why I was saying that. That's why I'm trying to get so much work done by the end of the year. Hold on. Ooh. So because I'm not sure if I'm able to keep this momentum, unfortunately. I had a good run, but I'm not sure if I'm able to keep going. So we'll see. We'll see. It depends. Honestly, it really depends on whether I can get the campaigns to perform better on Kickstarter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why hobbies are important. Honestly, I mean, being able, because obviously, because it's like, look, we live in this society. I mean, it only views people. Well, yeah, no, definitely, no, absolutely, yeah, that'll do it too. I mean, it's like, and look, it's like, we live in a society that only looks at people as resources. It's like, either they can get something out of you or they can't. And if they can't get anything out of you, you're deemed useless to society at large, right? I mean, it's like that's the hellscape that we're in. Yeah, I agree with the death thing. Unfortunately, that's kind of a part of it as to why I might have to go back. So, I mean, the only good thing is that if I had to go back, it wouldn't have to be for long, you know. But still, though, it's the fact that I would have to, it's kind of, I'm so used to work. It's like you go from like working your own schedule and your own hours, and then having to listen to somebody else's bullshit for pay. It's like, ugh, um, you know, but yeah, so it's like, that's why it's, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to sound flippant, but it's like, that's why it's so important to have hobbies, because at least it keeps your mind busy, and and you're doing something. It doesn't feel like you're just sitting around just watching Netflix all day, and then while you're sending out resumes on LinkedIn. Um, you know, I mean, it's tough. Yeah, I completely get it. Like I said, it's like, I had to spend 10 years working just so that when I was laid off, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, you know what it is? The one thing that I learned when I started working when I went into the workforce around like 2000, right? The one thing that I learned really quickly is to try to put yourself in a position. How do I put myself in a position where no employer could hold my job over me? That was the thing that I learned very, very quickly. And that's where I kind of like started learning how to like, do kind of like personal finance and that type of thing. And I was reading, money books and whatnot about investing and whatnot. It's like, it's modest what I've accomplished. Like I said, I was able to stay out of the workforce for as long as I did. For as long as I have so far. But like the one thing that I really that really was a focus was like, how do I keep my job from being weaponized against me? And I knew I was in the right place when my last job really, really made it an effort to do that. And I was able to counter every time with, I fucking dare you. Because here's the funny thing. Bosses really hate it when you tell them, go right ahead. You know, when you have the attitude that I'm doing what I'm doing. If you have a problem with it, you know what to do. You know, where it's like that they can't, because especially at my last job, I had a plant manager that he loved. He got off on lording over workers to the point that if they asked for, oh, I have to go see a doctor, well, you can't take that day off. You know, you have to go to the dentist, no, you can't. Like, he really, really enjoyed that, doing that shit. I mean, you know, I mean, it was kind of, the guy was a dick, pretty much. He was a dick. And you know, and and the several times he tried doing that shit to me, I was just like, yeah, whatever. You know, there was one time where I was going on vacation. I went on vacation, and this is one of those guys where it's like still wanted to have access to you while you were on vacation, and I refused. I didn't answer any of my phone calls or anything, you know. And when I got back, he was livid. It's like, you didn't answer any of your phone calls, and I go, I was on vacation. And you know, and it was just like, it kind of went kind of like we had this really, really passive aggressive argument back and forth, where he was like saying, you needed to answer your phone, and I go, no, I didn't. It's like, you micromanage me every minute while I'm here. The one time I'm not here, you were unable to work without me. Give me a fucking break. You know? And we had this adversarial relationship for practically the entire time. You know, because, you know, it was like it got to a point where he would throw shit at me. You know, like there was one time where I actually went over his head to, he was trying to pull some nonsense, and I went over his head, and he got so mad at me for trying to sabotage him. Like, he literally thought I was trying to steal his job. And I go, bitch, I don't even like my job. Why would I want yours? And he threw a stapler at me. I have never seen a grown man throw a fucking tantrum like that. He was throwing papers. He threw a stapler at me. It was just like, what the fuck? You know? And I just made it a mission to just keep, you know, just keep needling him. Because it's like, nah, you know what? If you want to get rid of me, you're going to get rid of me. I'm not quitting. You know? Oh, okay, Fern, you'd be surprised at how difficult it is to actually get a lawsuit. It's like, there was a point where he was literally taking away all my responsibilities, all my jobs in retaliation. So I would literally just be having to come in and do nothing, which I did, you know, but, and I called up a lawyer, and I asked him, it's like, you know, hey, it's like, you know, I think I'm being retaliated against, and this, that, and the other thing. And you know what they told me? They told me that it's not illegal to be an asshole. That, you know, that it's like, pretty much that's what they said. It's not illegal to be an asshole. And unless he had done something specifically discriminatory to me, there was nothing There was nothing to hinge anything on. Even throwing a stapler at me, it's like, it's not against the law to be an asshole. You know? So it's like, okay, well, guess what? That goes both ways. That goes both ways. So we just kept doing this little dance until, you know, we were just playing chicken with each other until he blinked. But here's the thing, though. Yeah, I got laid off. I didn't get fired. I got laid off, and they did not deny my unemployment. You know, that was the one thing, because they were doing that to a lot of people that they were laying off, but they didn't do it to me. And I go, yeah, that's right. So yeah, so who did who the favor, right? And even at the very end, I was still needling him. You know, because it's like that he calls me into the office, and then he goes, oh, well, you know, we're going to have to let you go. And I go, you're fucking with me. I just told him straight out, you're fucking with me. And he goes, no, we have to let you go. And I go, oh, okay. And I just sat there staring at him. It's like, okay. Because what it is, the guy that he was talking to me before, that he had also let go after like 14, the guy was working there for 14 years, thought they were, he thought that they were friends, and he fired him. And the dude came out of the office crying and shit, because like he had a, he had a mortgage and a family and the whole thing. But like, yeah, like I said, that's what this guy got off on. This manager. So I'm coming in there, and he's expecting the same thing, and I go, okay, whatever. I go, I gotta let you go. I said, okay. Right? And then it's like I went up to shake his hand, and it was at a printing plant. And they did like posters and displays and shit for stores. And I went to shake his hand, and what I had wanted to say was, it was a pleasure working with you. But instead, what came out to his face was, I can't say it was a pleasure working with you. And it was just like, I'm just going to hang out until I'm ready to go. And I walked out of his office. And that was December 13th. This Friday, December 13th, 2013. And I've been, I've been essentially unemployed since. So so I'm hoping I don't have to go back to that fucking environment, But like I said, it depends on what happens by the end of the year, But here's the funniest thing though. Here's the funniest thing, of course, looking back, right? That dumb asshole, he's the only one in that company that I actually think fondly of. I think it's the distance of time, but I don't know. It's like I don't know. I guess it's like, I was getting off on torturing him just as much as he was trying to get off torturing me. So, so it's like, it was just, but honestly though, it's like, it's kind of like, I guess after all these years, it's almost turned fictional in my head. Yes, it was a toxic environment. It was very, very much a toxic environment. But yeah, you couldn't. It's like they literally couldn't pay me to work there again. You know, because here's the thing: it wasn't just him. You know, it like I said, it was a very toxic environment because it wasn't just him. It was a lot of people. There was a lot, you know, it's usual. You know, a lot of backbiting, a lot of two-face. But you know what's funny is like two-face doesn't bother me because I had to be two-faced just to work there. You know, I had to grit my teeth and smile at people I wouldn't even acknowledge walking in the street. You know. I mean, you know, these were some really, really miserable people, you know, so, you know, but in the end, that's kind of like any job, right? Uh-huh. You know what? That's probably what it is. That's probably what it, like I said, it's like I was, you know, that's how I knew that that I had enough of a foundation that I could act like that. You know, it's kind of like if you watch the movie Office Space, I'm the asshole sitting there with the cooler, gutting the fish in the cubicle, you know, or like taking the drill and tearing apart the cubicles because I wanted a window view. I'm that ass. I was that asshole, you know. So you know, that's just what it turned into. But man, you couldn't pay me double to work back there. It's like, because look, it's like, yeah, the stories are funny looking back, but man, my blood pressure must have been through the roof, you know, during that time. You know, really, it must have been, you know, I was stressed the fuck out. You know, let's not get it twisted. The stories are funny now, but in the midst of it, look, like I said, it's like when he laid me off, he was doing me a favor. It was such a relief. You know, I mean, it's like, granted, I would have worked one more year there. That's kind of the deadline that I had given myself at that time. One more year and I'm out. Didn't work out that way, but it worked out. You know. All right. So this is what I have so far on the on this variant cover. I'm probably not going to finish inking it because I really want to finish another page for Eagle Raven issue 7. So I'm just going to probably just put this aside and you know, probably get back to it on the weekend or something when, you know, once, you know what, actually what I want to do, I just want to get Eagle Raven 7 finished. I have 7 pages left. I really want to get that done. So I'm just going to put this aside and finish that. So you're probably not going to see a finished version of this until like later. So, but this is what I have so far. At least we got some work done, which is important. I got to definitely try out the chair. Like I said, the chair is a winner so far because my back has not bothered me one bit the entire time I was here. You know, and this is the higher table. You know, it's a little, you know, so I'm able to be, you know, at the right height with this table. So when I turn around and go back to the computer desk, I can actually lower my chair to, you know, to the height that I need it. I don't need to switch chairs, and I actually have real back support. So I think it was a successful stream all around just for that. So let me shut off this music right here. And what I'm going to do is just hold on, everybody. I'm just going to, let me see. Oh, I got to move up like here. I'm just moving my screen over. So just hold on. I'm going to move the camera. So I'm just move you back over here. So I have to make sure I fix the wires for next time. So there we go. So Actually, hold on. It's like I just realized that I just like completely palmed the screen, the camera. So let me just. There we go. Okay, much better. Much better. Oh my goodness. Oh, Nita, there you are. Yes, yes. So Nita's. Yeah, you got to go feed the family now. So I'll talk to you later. So yeah, everyone say goodbye to Nita in the chat. You know. So there we go. Oh yeah, that's looking really good now that I'm on my main screen. Where's my mouse? Oh, here it is. There we go. There we go. So yeah, so I think that came out. Yes, that's definitely coming out successful. So there we go. So let me just switch over to this. So there we go. So there we go. So here we are, just hitting the second hour. Just hitting the second hour. And yeah, I think that this has been very successful. Got some inking done. Got to prove that this chair was definitely worth the $70. So like I said, this chair, $70 chair on Amazon, outperformed a $400 specialty racer chair. So we are officially retiring the auto full. We're leaving it right there. It's just going to be another chair in the office, but I am not using it anymore. The saddle chair I've already put back upstairs, so at least I don't have it, scooting around. So but yeah, so the fact that I was able to make it through the entire 2 hours without my back acting up, I'm very happy with that, just for that. So consider the stream a successful experiment for the chair. So it's definitely a keeper. I was a little worried about it for a bit, but hey. So yeah, so thank you so much for joining me this Wednesday. Thank you for watching me work on this piece, inking this piece, for hearing me ramble about all this, whatever was popping into my head during this during this time or whatever. It's like I'm just really happy with this chair. I really am. So sometimes it's just the simplest things. So all right, so thank you everybody in the chat for joining me. Let's see, where are my poof and poof? There we go. So thank you everybody in the chat for joining me and keeping me company on this Wednesday. Thank you so much for the 4 people who made it to the end of this stream, who joined me for the entire 2 hours. Thank you so much for that. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me on YouTube and helping my channel reach 1,001 subscribers, to be exact. So thank you so much for finally helping me meet this milestone. Now all I have to do is just get the 4,000 hours of watch time, and I can get that out of the way. And then I can monetize, whatever that means. But technically, that's the next milestone: getting 4,000 watch hours in this calendar year. So we have until the end of the year, I think, in order to get for me to get the 4,000 watch hours. I'm already at 100. No, I'm already at 800 and something. So it doesn't sound that bad nowadays. I don't know. It's like before getting 4,000 watch hours seemed like, but now it's like, oh, wait, if I have to get 4,000 watch hours in a year and I'm at 800 already, it might not be too bad. I'm not sure. I mean, considering we're halfway in the year already. So I don't know. Although I do have, according to TubeBuddy, I have 80,000 view hours on my channel for the entire time my channel existed. 80,000 people have been watching 80,000 hours of my content. So thank you so much for that. So yes, 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for that. So we could just, continue moving on from there. So let's see. Where am I? Yes, here we are. So yes. So here we are, end of the show. Thank you so much. If you want to learn more about me and my artwork and my upcoming campaigns and whatnot, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you're into seeing sketches and current work in progress updates, and if you want to see the finished piece of this piece that I'm inking, you're going to see it on Facebook first. So if you want to see it, go ahead and join me on Facebook as well. You don't have to send a friend request. I'm really shitty at those, of keeping track of those. Just go ahead and follow the page. I don't have any closed, like friends only posts. I don't do that. So if you just want to follow my stuff to make sure you don't miss anything, just go ahead and do that. Like I said, I'm really crappy at keeping track of the friend requests. So I'm just saying you're better off not waiting for that. Just follow the page. And remember that you can also watch my YouTube channel, Daphne Lage Art. That's Lage. And remember that everything simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network for, so you check out both, subscribe to both channels for videos and semi-weekly live art live streams. And remember to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload any new videos. And remember, you can read Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. Remember to join us on Friday at 11 a.m. On YouTube, on my channel, on Indie Comics Network, where we will launch Tall Tales, or so I thought, the first full-color Tall Tales book that I've ever done. So we're hoping that this leads to more color Tall Tales books, but we're starting with this one right now. So join us on Friday at 11 a.m., where we will be launching the campaign. And remember to sign up at my website to also keep track of Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, issue 7, coming later this year to Kickstarter as well. So thank you again for everybody for joining me. It's been a blast. Thank you so much for helping me break in this chair. And why do I always do that? See, I gotta say. So there we have it. There we have it. It's the end of the show. You know it is. You know it's the end of the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Keep it easy. Thanks.